Connery going to come too? Yeah.
Connery, coming up. Good morning.
Good morning.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, here's Rory with today's announcements.
Good morning, St. Johnsbury Academy. Today is Thursday, March 30th, and it's a white day. As the weather is getting nicer and the snow is melting off the lawn, it's important for everyone to stay off the sidewalks and paved walkways to allow the grass to grow back. Always remember to stay off the baby grass. If you want to be considered for free driver's education class through the guidance office for next year, the sign-ups close tomorrow. If you do not sign up by tomorrow, you will be automatically at the end of the wait list. Please see your guidance counselor to sign up. Talent show sign-ups continue this week. Auditions will be held next Monday through Friday. Come see Mr. Lovett in Colby 201 to sign up. Friday is the deadline for all students who want to participate in the Academy's Model Congress United Nations Conference on April 8th. We are offering 2 committees that will be good for both beginners and experienced delegates. One committee will tackle the topic of geoengineering and will discuss whether and how mankind should purposely tune the Earth's climate in order to mitigate the effects of global warming. The other committee will try to solve a political crisis in Peru by writing a new constitution for it. If you would like to participate, please email or speak to Mr. Arain. If you like movies, sports, competition, friendship, action, hopes, dreams, or love, then we have the perfect Friday night plan for you. Come to the Love and Basketball movie night in the Black Box Theater tomorrow night, beginning at 7 p.m., hosted by the Student Diversity Council. Friday, 7 p.m., Black Box. The Meditation Club and Dungeons & Dragons Club will not meet today due to the Meet the Teachers Family Conference. See you next week. Happy birthday today to Haven Hill Barnes, Jay Krause, and Joaquim Serrano Sobrino. A special happy birthday tomorrow to Mr. Roberts from the softball team. Happy birthday. That's all. I hope you all have a great day.
Thank you, Rory. The Unified Basketball team began their season yesterday with a hard-fought win over the All-Star Faculty Basketball team. The Unified team scored 62 points and were led by the top-notch shooting of Austin Babcock. The team will have their first home game next Wednesday at 3:30, playing Oxbow. Congratulations to Unified Basketball. And one last late announcement, would senior Nordic racers please meet Mr. Legge out front on the stairs of Fuller after chapel. And now I'd like to turn the stage back over to Mr. Arain. We'll continue hearing about our trips for the next academic year. Mr. Arain.
All right, good morning. You know, I could go on forever about the benefits of international travel. I really could. It'd be great. For me, maybe not for you. At any rate, I'm not going to carry on. As you know, we have awesome international trips that are being offered here at the Academy, and I want our trip leaders and even some past participants to be able to have their say about what's coming up for next year. And so I'm going to begin by with our lineup for February of 2024. You remember yesterday we saw the trips that are organized for next April and next summer. And the first of these trips that we're going to highlight for February is our trip to Florence, Italy. And so I invite Mrs. Loader and a couple of our student participants.
Oh, Oh, I love a good start. Hi, I'm Mrs. Loader. I am so excited to be able to share with you that the Florence trip for next year. We just returned 4 weeks ago, so it seems so early to be launching for next year, but I'm really delighted to be able to do that, especially because today you will have the benefit of hearing from your peers about their own experience through story and visuals. We are planning to leave next February 20th. Chef Andre will be accompanying me on this trip again, so for those of you who take a lot of delight in international cuisine, shopping in marketplaces for fresh food, preparing dinners, it's a good opportunity for that. So the trip cost is $3,200, and it involves taking trips to, this year we left Florence, Italy to make a quick detour to Venice. In 2024, we'll take our trip to Rome. So that will be an extra excursion. I don't want to have a cold anyways. I'm so glad to be able to share the podium this morning with Alex Lapine, who wants to share her video. Here you go.
Hi, I'm Alex, and when I went to Florence, it was like one of the best experiences I've had at the Academy, and so I created a film about it.
So you can see no one had any fun. So part of this trip, and what's important to me is that part of this trip offers opportunities for students to have free time to spend that and curate it in ways that they want. So my next speaker is Connery, who's going to share about her experience on her free day and where she went. I call it a lunar landing, but she has other words.
So let me just start by saying that having Miss Loder and Chef Andre as the trip leaders was one of the best experiences I've had. We just had like really good connections together. And part of the best thing about that trip was definitely the studio, but also the free day. So on the free day that we had, Alex, Lucas, Cody, and I went to San Marino, and we had this responsibility where we had to buy our own tickets, take care of everything by ourselves, and it really just boosted the morale of the group. It was really nice to have the responsibility of being able to step out on our own as adults, and if we messed up things, it was our responsibility to fix them, and we couldn't just call and say, hey, we're stuck miles and miles away, we need you to come get us, because it wasn't really that easy. And it was really a really great experience. There's not much else I can say. I know a lot of other people went to museums and things like that, but I'm glad we had the freedom to go where we wanted to go.
So in principle, this trip is really designed with a focus on art. So this is really ideally suited for students that have studied drawing at St. Johnsbury Academy. Our printmaking students are interested in developing those skills. Italy and the studio at Il Basante, we've had a relationship with Il Basante, which is a premier printmaking studio for education. And we've had this relationship and this trip going for 20 years. It's a long time. So this really is curated for those students who are interested in art. And also for students who are curious, who want a global experience, who want an adventure, this trip is for you. So we have an informational next Wednesday after school. You can see me as early as 3:15 to get some more details about it. And if you are at all interested in that opportunity, come and see me. If money is an issue, we can talk about that too at that time. Anyways, thank you so much.
Good morning, and Akwaba, which is Twi for welcome. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Miss Keach, and I'll be offering the opportunity to travel to Techiman, Ghana. We will be doing service work and staying in the dormitories at the Aya Owen International School. We will also be providing donations and school supplies from our community to assist in their educational needs. Students that attend the trip will have the opportunity to share what they are passionate about with the students there. We had multiple capstone projects on our last trip, an art capstone where the students were able to practice their photography skills, and once back here, those pictures were developed. The second was a recycling, reusing, and plastic awareness capstone, where students in the Aya Owen International School gathered and cleaned water sachets, which are thin plastic bags, and wove them into a soccer net. We will enjoy some mild hiking and traveling around Techiman to see some of the sights. We will also visit a monkey sanctuary. We will also immerse ourselves in the local culture and visit local chiefs and possibly experience their judicial system. We will enjoy going to the market and teach the students from the Aya Owen School how to swim. We will also enjoy time with the kids and gain a different type of cultural experience. Once we have spent a few weeks at the school, we'll travel back to the coast where we will relax and enjoy the ocean, tour Elmina Castle, and do some swimming and walking on the beach to see the sights. If you are interested in this trip, please come to the informational meeting April 12th at 3:30 in Streeter 263. You can also email me or come see me in Streeter 263 if you have any questions. Thank you.
Morning. He started us at the last slide. 1 second. Okay. I'm Miss Murphy, this is Miss Kendall, and in February next year, we are offering a trip to 2 of the most fabulous cities in Europe. We are going to do Paris and London, and Miss Kendall is going to talk to you about the first half of the trip.
All right, so we're going to kick it off in London, where we will visit several of the most fabulous places that you could possibly visit, including the Silicon Roundabout, also known as Tech City, the London Eye, which is the 4th largest Ferris wheel in the world, Big Ben, Museum of Brands, Wimbledon Stadium. We'll take a London bus tour. We will go to West End Theatre and hopefully catch a show, and also visit Buckingham Palace. Then we're going to hop on the train and ride through the Channel to...
We will get to Paris, and it's this trip does have a business focus, so we will do a little bit of classic tourism, right? That is a key business in both cities. So we'll see the Louvre, we'll see the Palace of Versailles, we'll go on a river cruise on the Seine, and then we will tour some of the biggest business districts in Paris. And part of both cities will be some of the most, the biggest shopping areas, right? Covent Gardens, Trafalgar Square, things like that. And we'll go to cafes, we'll do some shopping, sort of classic visitor things to do.
All right, so this trip is open to all students. The cost is to be determined, but it will include, so everything will be all combined for breakfast and dinner, all of the hotels, the tickets to all of our activities, and all of the events that we will attend. It will also cover the airfare and the ground transportation, so any busing and the train trip to Paris.
If you're interested, our meeting will be on April 18th. It's going to be in Streeter 223, which is Miss Kendall's room, right after conference period at 3:35, or you can email us at our STJ Labs accounts or visit us in either of our rooms, Miss Kendall for Streeter 223 and myself in Streeter 208. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
So as you can see, a wide range of offerings for the next year. I'm super excited about that. There are lots of opportunities, but if you are interested, you need to act. We will have these trips, dates posted someplace where you're able to find them. There will be reminders that are going to be posted in the announcements, so be listening for those. And here's just a quick reminder of all of those dates for Florence, Italy, the trip to Ghana, the trip to Paris and London, the trip to Nepal from yesterday, Ecuador, and also the exchange program in Freiburg, Germany. A lot to consider. Think about it, talk about it with your parents, save your pennies over the summer, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rain. Thank you to our faculty trip leaders and to our students who told us about their experiences. Fantastic opportunities are there for you. And I would just also encourage you, I know you've heard this, but if you are concerned that there might be an impediment, be it financial or otherwise, to your participating, do be sure to ask questions. There are ways to support you, so start thinking about it now. It's why they're presented now, but really inspiring opportunities out there for you. I mentioned recently in chapel that this stage provides us a platform to do many things. We just had an example right here of opportunity and learning about opportunity. But this morning, I'd like to ask us to respond to 2 legacies, to 2 messages. Today, as a community, we remember 2 women who led impactful lives here on campus. They led them here at St. Johnsbury Academy, and they led them outside of our campus as well. They left an incredible legacy, each of them. And today we're remembering them, but we're also responding to their message. And so I want to remind us about these 2 impactful women. And the first was Melissa Jenkins. Melissa was born to a large Danville family. She's a daughter, fierce family member. She was a science teacher here, a coach, and a doting and loving mother to her son, Ty. She was a champion for her students, and her care and empathy for them guided her lessons, her demeanor as a teacher, and her ability to connect even the most science-averse students to the learning in her classroom. But as an educator, Melissa's teaching went far beyond the science curriculum. She connected with and understood her students and student athletes remarkably well, and her heart, her empathy was greatest for those with some of life's toughest challenges. Her mantra as an educator on our campus was to love those the most who needed it the most. On March 30 of 2012, we both mourned the loss of Melissa Jenkins, the loss of a life that was cut far too short, but we also celebrated together. We celebrated her incredible impact. And what sustained our community in the weeks and months that followed was the very message that Melissa lived by. We loved each other. We took care of each other when our collective need was greatest. Then Headmaster Lovett captured this well by noting that both in the day-to-day living Melissa modeled and how we cared for and responded to our community in that time when the loss was unbearable, it was love that got us through. Love wins. And that's the message that we have responded to and that we call to memory each year. And while I realize that most of you sitting in Fuller Chapel this morning, you didn't know Melissa personally. Most of you did not. Her message lives on, and many of your families knew her, and certainly the faculty and staff on our campus knew her well. And while we miss her, we're impacted by her message to love those around us because love wins. And again, while many of you didn't know Melissa, you most certainly know of the loss that we sustained last year, a year ago, when suddenly 2020 alumna and beloved Jillian Hegarty passed on April 1st. Jillian was the daughter of Buffy and Sean and younger sister to Andrew. Jillian was a poised young woman with a strong sense of right and wrong. She lived with conviction. She was a scholar, a dancer, a leader, and a friend to all. After graduating from here in 2020, she went on to Trinity College, where she was studying neuroscience. She was incredibly bright and dedicated to her learning, and she was also dedicated as a dancer. She was excellent in her own right, but it was her giving back that was most impressive. She was a patient teacher. She taught at Dance Express. She touched so many lives with what she did. She was principled and caring. She was mature beyond her years, and she was always willing to stand up for what was right. She served our community impactfully in her years as an SJA student, and she was involved in student government, NHS, and class council, and she took those roles very seriously, pushing students to move, calling them into action. She was impactful in her involvement. In the summers, she was a mainstay with Miss Higgs as a counselor at Camp I Wanna Have Fun. She also worked with Halo and Halo's students. And in a way, if you saw her, she looked like a Pied Piper of younger kids who were rallied around her. She had a special relationship with those kids. But as I said, Jillian had a strong sense of wrong and right, and she wasn't afraid to stand up for her beliefs. While I missed Jillian as a student personally, I watched her grow up at Good Shepherd and from afar here while I was away and she was at school. But I know from those closest to her that she would tell us in no uncertain terms to simply be better. And what she would mean in that is be there in the moment. Be a good person. Be the best version of yourself. Do the little things because they matter. And in many ways, her message was much like Melissa Jenkins. because when we're at our best, we're caring for those around us. We're loving those around us. And so again, the respective losses of these beloved women are 10 years apart, Melissa and Jillian. Both of them called us to love and care for those around us. As it so happens, both Melissa's and Jillian's favorite color was pink. And so tomorrow, in honor of these two remarkable women and in solidarity with their life messages, I'm calling you to action. And I'm encouraging you to wear pink tomorrow as an outward symbol. Please integrate that into your dress code. Please wear pink tomorrow as we stand together. But most importantly, let's consider their messages. Let's celebrate with our actions tomorrow, how we treat one another, how we care for one another, and how we take that forward. It's an honor to do so, and so thank you in advance for joining together again in solidarity tomorrow. Have a good day, faculty.